Hey guys, it's Gummo here with another Warhammer 8th edition battle report and another 2500 point no magic items except banners practice game for Castle Assault 2015, which is in October, and yeah, as I said, it's an 8th edition tournament. My opponents, both of our arms actually are our slow grow from our local club. He's just got Empire and mine's Demons, as you know. Pretty much, actually no, I did change it a little from the last game that I got thrashed and to have a bit more combat effectiveness in the list. And I'll run through that when I go through it. It's a it was a great game and a little bit back and forth, so hopefully it comes through, but we will see, I guess. He's got, actually, this is me, not him. So I get Infernal Gateway, Firestorm, Bolter Change on my 3 units of 10 horrors. And I've got a level 2 Herald BSB. He gets whatever he needs, which is useless. And then my level 4 Metal, Lord of Change, Searing Doom, Enchanted Blades, Transmutation of Lead, Final Trans. And he's got a level 4 Light, and you can see what he's got there. He didn't roll up any doubles, so at least I wasn't getting banishment against me, which was much appreciated. We rolled up Dawn Attack again, which is the one I played last one, so and I had to deploy first, so this is how it ends up with me, and I'll run through the list as we go. It's a little different. Not much, but a little different from last game. So I've got 10 pink horrors out there. They're the ones with Firestorm. I've got my proxied 25 bloodletters, and I'll go into their formation issues later. Actually, I did mention in the last battle report. It was this battle report when afterwards that the opponent said, you know, having them in 5x20 is really a waste of time, and it did actually affect me. And yeah, again, it's just laziness. I was using my Black Orc tray there. So I'm going to definitely do up a 7x3 movement tray, I think, for these guys, and obviously buy the real models, get them up. A lot of change behind there. Again, he's just half painted Demon Prince model, which I'm sort of hanging for a new Lord of Change model if they bring one out. And I'm just going to just wait. Rather than 2 units of 4 Screamers, I've gone with 1 unit of 5, just a little bit extra wound, a bit more powerful in combat and stuff like that. And instead of them, then I've gone for 2 units of Blood Crushers. So I've got the 3 Blood Crushers there. Those guys you see there got Flaming Banner. Hiding my cannon behind them. Infernal Gateway unit. My 2 Zench and Khorne Furies. It's a bit confusing, but the Demigryphs at the back there are my other unit of Blood Crushers, which I'll have to get. And they've got the Razor standard, so again, this is just, you know, my idea was to sort of combo the 2 Blood Crushers together, but then I ran out of room and I don't know how to deploy. But the idea being that, you know, weaken some stuff up with Gateway, and if I'm giving them regen, going with these 2, one's got Flaming, knock the regen off, and then hit them with Piercing, just to try and whittle stuff down. Level 2 BSB sitting behind them, and then another unit of pink horrors ended up in the right. They've got the bolt spell. So he's got 20 newly painted crossbowmen. Actually, it might have been 19. Look good. As you know, they probably don't go that great on the table, but they look awesome. And he's motivated me to paint mine up too. Then he's got at the back there a bunker with his BSB in it of archers and 2 units of 5 detachment archers hanging around that 40 something halberdiers. Just a champion there, nothing else. You can see cannon, then another bunker with his level 4, and then he's got 40 or close to 40 great swords with his arch-lector in there, and then 15 knights with his general in there. Steel standard on those dudes, I think it is. Not sure what banner's on the greatswords, I can't remember. Banner of Discipline, probably, leadership 10. Another cannon and the Hurricane end up on his left flank. This time he didn't. I didn't lose the initiative, so I'm going to go first, which that helps heaps. Looking at the board, and I was actually quite happy with how everything ended up. I mean, my plan here is to, and especially how he ended up. I always thought that I was going to have to try and chaff up the units of great swords and knights and either hit them with magic and stuff like that, but probably chaff them up long enough that I can get a gateway or two off on his halberds and then throw a bunch of stuff in there, bloodletters or blood crushers and screamers or whatever it is, and those guys will die. Um, that would mean that unit's gone plus whatever else is hanging around it, and then sort of, then take on in the later parts of the game his two big units. Obviously, so I've got flyers and some things and magic to sort of do that. I have to obviously divert at least a flyer to trying to take out a cannon, use my cannon to take out the other cannon. Um, and have to see how the first couple of turns go with that. But then after this deployment, I thought, this doesn't look like a bad plan because he's definitely separated, and that whole left flank doesn't have BSB or general near it, so that's going to be useful, and I definitely want to hit that as hard as I can. And so that's what I do. I move up. The other benefit, just the way it ended up, is the guys on the right, my pink unit, has the bolt, which is going to be useful against the Hurricaneum. So, bolt throw a shot and against the knight. So it actually ended up, you probably couldn't ask for much better deployment considering it was dawn attack for me. So I move up. I keep out of some charge ranges. The Stench Furies are going to have a pretty long charge. It's something like a 9. I think it was a 9 Swift stride into the cannon. So, it's 50-50. It was a risk, but I didn't want to get too close and have his greatswords give them an easy, auto move halfway across the board at me. So I had to just take that risk. I am going to try take that. I'm going to shoot that left cannon if I can with my one anyway, my skull cannon, and that way if the Furies don't have to go in there, they can then do the chaffing duties on the great swords. So Screamers move up. Yeah, Screamers, the left pink units. They've got the left unit has Firestorm, so I thought too, if I get enough magic dice, I can throw Gateway, I can throw Firestorm, and just try and really smash that halberd unit down, and then anything can take it on really, even if it is sitting behind that bunker. Sorry, that wall. I do have Enchanted Blades as a buff spell too, if I need it. The Lord of Change is just sitting behind the hill out to the left. He's got to stay hidden until I get rid of these cannons. There's just a close-up of coming up the left. So magic, I 6 dice Gateway, and I get a 20, and then he double sixes the spell. So, and that was it. That's just a 6 dice phase. Actually, I think whatever happened with the Reign of Chaos, I think I might have killed a couple of greatswords or something just from greatswords, halberdiers from that, but obviously didn't get any damage done with the magic spells. I take a shot at this cannon with my cannon, and I don't roll high enough, and it bounces into the forest and doesn't do anything. I think it was a 2 and a 4 or something like that I rolled. So I didn't get anything done turn 1, which is a bit worrying. So yeah, he starts to have to deploy. Obviously, sends his knights as quick as he can this way. The Hurricaneum's coming around. He does a bit of shuffling in the backfield, but not a whole lot. But he's got to come to me. Yeah, I think there's some shuffling of. Well, actually, one thing he does move, and he said it was deliberate. Sorry, he joked that he was deliberate. He wasn't. He's moved that. He moved that left 5-man detachment back, and he's sort of lucky he did, because I think that would have given me a really easy charge with the Lord of Change into that unit, which then meant I could either overrun or get in the flank of his. It would have been a triple combo charge really, with potentially Screamers, Bloodletters, Lord of Change, with a double combat move. So I think I was almost in the flank. It was something like that. I was eyeing it off, going, if he moves those guys up a bit, then I'm going to have an awesome charge, and I might as well just take it and go everything into those halberds straight away. But yeah, he moved it, and it made it just too big that if I failed it, I'm going to be sitting in the middle of nowhere and getting a cannon to the face. So that was a shame. Yeah, I just I think it's 10 dice magic phase. I let Speeder light up on these guys. These guys aren't anywhere near combat yet, so he can have that. And then I just threw my dice at a big Shems that he was shooting at. I think those Furies. So I got rid of that, and then he's just putting his 5-up ward on his greatswords or something, which again I didn't care. I didn't have any dice to care about it. And then he has a terrible round of shooting. So I can't remember which order it was, but I know one cannon um, hit my skull crushers and then just came up short on my skull cannon, but I ended up warding it. And I think the other one might have done a misfire 6, so it didn't do anything. So I got off pretty lucky there. And then on this shooting, I think out of all the shots, all he was managed to do was take out one Zench Fury. So um, yeah, pretty happy with that. So I go into some charges. So I don't, obviously I couldn't get the Lord of Change in just yet because he's still got cannons alive. But I did get that big Zench Fury charge off on that cannon, so I'm happy about that. And so this time I send the Screamers. I lose one on the stand and shoot, and so I've got 4 Screamers now into that unit of crossbows. So hopefully I can just wipe that out. And on the left, on the right, I move up my Corn Furies out of the charge arc and get ready to take out the other cannon or the Hurricane M, or, and I'm just starting to see it as I was putting them there, his bunker with his wizard in it. So we'll just see. The pinkies move out of charge arc as well and into flank shot with their bolt. And I back up the right blood crushers out of charge arc of those knights. So magic ends up being a big one. It was 11 dice, and I threw 3 dice just to suck out some dispel dice at enchanted blades at those screamers because I want them to hit and I want them to get rid of that unit straight away. And what I wanted to do was try and sort of make it seem, pretty important he's going to lose a whole unit. Because if I could suck out enough dice, I was going to throw bolt at his, and take out a row of his knights. And then I double 6 it. And then I double 1 my miscast. And as you can see, my Demon Prince is lying down because I rolled a 2 and I lost him top of turn 2 to a bloody enchanted blade spell, which after we calculate it saved me 2 hits. So I just traded a Lord of Change for 2 dead crossbowmen. Great. So I do have some dice left because I only lost a couple on the miscast. I think I had 5 dice left, so I threw them at Gateway again at the Halberdiers to try and whittle them down because they're going to be in combat soon. And he's got 6 dice left, and he just dispels it. So 2 turns in, and all I've got off is Enchanted Blades, which killed my general. Now I'm a little worried. I'm down 400, whatever it is, and yeah, I don't know how I'm going to. I've got to do some stuff to pull this out. Skull Cannon takes a shot, does take out his other cannon, so that's positive. And these guys take out the crossbowmen. Well, they ran off the table, so we just reformed. So all they did is a wound to my guys. The Furies can't kill a cannon, but they do knock it down just to 1 wound left, so I guess can't complain about that. And he's turn 2, so his knights start moving more again. I guess the charge was too far for him, so he decides to head to the other way. Great swords are heading left as well. And his bunker with his wizards, I don't know, he's behind, you can see it, it's a bad picture, sorry, but sitting behind those knights. And he hasn't moved his wizard into his great swords. So his wizard is sitting there with 10 archers hanging around. There's a better shot there again. Yeah, I mean the detachment on the left, just sort of chaffing my screamers, so I can't get the flank charge into the halberdiers, but that's about it. And there's a closer shot of that. So combat my Zench guys take out that cannon and reform pointing the other direction, because now I've got a rear charge on that bunker unit. And my turn 3, and I take it. So the Furies both go in. So now I've got 9 Furies in combat with 10 archers. I've got a charge. I've actually got a charge downhill as well with the corn dudes. I've got a rear. Yeah. This actually might swing stuff back for me. So I start moving up the rest of my line, although there's one thing I do badly. That impassable in the middle is just right in the way. And I'd love to get my 2 blood crushers together. But I can't, so I'll sort of move them up to go around or do something. And I did send the Bolt of Change pink horrors into the rear of those knights, thinking what I'll do is if they can just hold a turn, um, then he's stuck in his turn to fight me or kill me or reform or something. But then maybe I can get some charges off into those knights. Um, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Again, I hold off charging on the left. I thought, no, you know what, he can just sit there for a bit. So you can just close up of him we go, and hopefully I can do enough damage that I rout them and kill his wizard. Infernal Gateway. I think I shoot it at someone and actually get it off, maybe the Great Swords. I do. Irresistible, I kill a few Great Swords. I don't know if that was going off my game plan or not. Maybe I should have gone at the Halberdiers again. They're the ones who were going to be. That was my whole plan the whole time, and I'm sort of, you see this Great Sword unit bearing down, you get a bit worried. And yeah, I rolled out of the box for. I think I killed, most of them. um, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I pretty much killed them to the point where they had no one left other than the wizard or something like that. Um, and they ran off and yeah, ran him down. What happened here? Okay. Oh yes, pink horrors are gone. Yeah, that plan didn't work. Just obviously his general made way and yeah, popped them. Only by one though. If it was just off by if there was just one difference in my instability test, whatever it's called, I would have had a horror sitting there. So I guess it may have worked, just to hold him up one turn. But I guess he would have just charged. Yeah, well, it would have held him up a turn. So yeah, he charges into this unit, and his great swords are moving into the. He charges his knights into my blood crushers. Can't do much about that. Although I've blocked myself. Like if I'd moved the pink horrors over a bit, I could have at least got supported them with the skull cannon coming in. But again, bad positioning down there. The halberds get sick of hiding behind a wall and just charge my blood letters. So at least we're in combat now. Hurricane spins around and the great swords is just marching. Some shots there. I think he takes some shots and doesn't kill anyone with trying to kill Furies. Into magic, he gets a 5-up ward on these guys. I can't really remember what else he got off. Actually takes out a Screamer with some shooting, which sucked. Oh, I guess there was only one wound on one of them, so that's why. And yeah, these guys go to town, wipe off a bunch. I think it was like 7 or 8 I ended up losing in the blood letters. And I had 10 attacks, and I didn't do 1 wound, which was just ridiculous. Couldn't hit. So my turn 4. I get greedy here, and I send both Furies into his other bunker unit, even though it's got a BSB in it. And the way the Zench dudes were, they couldn't really wheel to get out of the way too much, and so I couldn't even get everyone in. So I'm down to like 5 or 6 attacks rather than the 9 or 10 or whatever I had before. I think I had 9. So I'm down almost half the amount of attacks that I had attacking the other bunker. And I don't have a rear like I had before, and a downhill. So yeah, it's I think this is a bad move, but I saw blood, I guess. I was thinking, I took out that one with the wizard. If I take out this with the BSB, these Furies are going to get MVP. Yeah, rather than try using, I had 2 flying units and I could have flown them off and really blocked up those great swords for a bit. Maybe reposition one of the blood crushers to get over to that fight with the halberds somehow. But maybe they couldn't even fit in. Fleshhounds go into the halberd, to the Hurricanum. We'll do a bit more damage with the Screamers in the rear there. And I think we might have even got, we get off another Infernal Gateway. So whittling these guys down to half, but still, they're hanging around. And I'm trying to shoot try to shoot this guy through the three great swords too. He misfires, but I roll 6 luckily. Get rid of the Hurricaneum though. Flesh Hounds do their job. And these guys are still holding these up a little bit, although they are going to die. So we peel off about 11 or so halberdiers, but now my bloodletter's nearly dead. Turn 4, he reforms his great swords, and he just keeps attacking, I guess. Oh yeah, the Furies died. That was last turn, so I lost both units of Furies. Yeah, these are just fighting, so he ends up popping that unit. Now those pinkies are going to get it. Kills these blood crushers. This is all falling downhill. I said it was his turn 5, sorry. So turn 4. My turn 5. I just don't want to be sitting around. So this time I go into the blood crushers, into the great swords, but there's still too many of them. And yeah, I don't know why I overran with a flesh hound. Maybe I broke it and had to run them down. Yeah, I must have. That's why. Because the flesh hounds, all they could do is come round and reform around here. I have to just take the rear charge from the knights with the pink horrors. I want to try and shoot. So what I want to try to do here is throw Infernal Gateway at his bunker unit and then try and snipe off his BSB. These guys go in here. Go for the shot with the pink horrors, and I threw 5 dice. I just missed it because I was trying to take the picture here, and I rolled 4 ones or something like that. It was just shock. I didn't even get it off with 5 dice. It was like, oh, that plan didn't work. I don't know what I did with the cannon after that. May not even bothered to shoot it. And yeah, I'm losing this combat. So he's turn 5. In go the knights in the back of my pink horrors down the bottom. I've lost a blood crusher and more to those great swords. It's all going downhill. I think those blood crushers look good though. Pink horror's dead. Screamer's dead. I'll send the cannon in just to go, bugger this. You've got to get some. I want to kill someone. I'll kill about 1, and then he puts a couple of wounds back on me, or maybe 1 wound. And yeah, I hide my herald. Do you notice my herald also got down to 1 wound? I mean, he's only got 2, but so I hit him behind the hill. And these halberdiers pop my pink horrors, and it all falls gloriously apart, and I got smashed. I couldn't get any of all his 3 big units still were there, and it was, yeah, I lost a lot of change turn 2, but I think I had it if I could just kill those halberdiers or one of his 3 units, and I think this is where I probably lost it. Trying to take on that bunker, losing those Fury units where I could have easily, I don't know if easily, I mean, looking at this picture, maybe I couldn't get the blood crushers through, but if I could have chaffed up those great swords a bit longer and maybe got those blood crushers around, might have been able to do a bit. Unfortunately, I didn't. I mean, the other option is with the Hurricaneum and the Flesh Hounds up there, maybe I should just let it run away. It would have run off to the right, and then just bring those, being able to reform them and come in as well and hit the great swords with the blood crushers, the Flesh Hounds, and maybe a Fury unit, and maybe that would have done a bit better. But I think there was something there that I could have done, and rather than just lose 2 of my chaff units, they're so important to block up those big hordes and take them out piecemeal, and I didn't, and as a result, yeah, it ended up a pretty crushing loss in the end. So one day I'll get a victory, but yeah, let's just keep plugging away, I guess. Hope you like this one, and don't know when the next one's going to be actually. We're talking about AOS game or Kings of War game, so we'll see how I go. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you whenever I get the next one out. Cheers, guys.